Okay, so now, as promised in the previous video, I'm going to show you how to use this little thing. And even if you aren't able to find these, which for a long time I couldn't find them in my area, I have a few other little tricks that will basically do about the same thing as this. When I first purchased this, it was called a yarn bra, but they may have changed the name to like a yarn sock or, yarn keeper, something along those lines. But basically, it's just a circular plastic mesh, like a net, that keeps the skein from, becoming all floppy, or helps it become not so floppy and a tangled mess along the way as you're working. Because of course, when you first get them, they're pretty solid, but as you start working, especially pulling from the center, you're pulling out that core and it loses stability, and after a while you have this hole where the core was, and after a while it comes pretty loose, pretty floppy, and eventually if you're not careful, will end up being a tangled mess. But see, that's what this is to help out and try to reduce. But like I said, even if you aren't able to find these, I've got other tricks. If you do find these, you should be able to just look for the classic yellow card with the logo, and it should be around with the knitting needles and crochet hooks, and just that basic tools and whatnot. If you are able to find them, I don't remember if this is for something else, but I don't remember if it's an actual like clamshell type package or if it's just a bubble card, but it should still be on this card, because I know that they've changed some of their packaging. But it'll be in a 3-pack, and it should be pretty standard to have this purple and the I believe a pink and like a green or yellow, but it's only a 3-pack. So if you are able to find them, you could cut them down to size, or just keep it full size. That's totally up to you. Now, when I first purchased mine, they were only, I think, about $3 for the package, but they may be, as much as $5 to $7 now. I do know that they were unavailable for a long time, at least in my area, but as of a few weeks ago, they were available. So, now, to actually use this, of course, you want to start with your totally new skein. Normally I would take the label off, but since this is just a demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and keep that on there. And basically all you do is you want to open it up and just go ahead and stick your hand in. Stick your hand on in there, so it's kind of like a little glove. You're just going to take the one end and just fold it down and just try to keep it. Just fold it down so that, for one, you have a rounded, smooth edge that won't get caught in your yarn strands, and also because that's what these will dig into the actual strands and get under them and just make it frustrating to get up on there. And then also I found it was a lot harder to just yank it on there. But once you get it on your hand, folded down, you're just going to grab with this one. It doesn't matter which end, if it's your center end or the other end, it doesn't matter. You'll just grab it and just start putting that down over. Kind of work that on until it's about, you just have that little bit sticking out, and then you can just unfold it and then, yeah, see, kind of did it a little bit by itself. And then as you work, as you pull, you know, you'll be losing that core, but this will compress it and, you know, still try to keep it a little bit extra solid than if it were, say, you know, just loose like this. You know, eventually you will have to ball it by hand, or, you know, if you have a machine, good for you. I have other tricks for that later. But like I said, if you're not able to find these, here's another little trick that works basically on the same principle as this, which is, I'm gonna grab a new color. Take some old stockings, old nylon stocking, pantyhose, you know, whatever you want to call them. This one in particular is like a knee-high, thigh-high, you know, whatever. Or, you know, you could probably even use like a dress sock, or, you know, some other mismatched sock. But with this technique, you'll want to make sure that your center, I'll go ahead and set that so that's the farthest away. And basically it's the same, doing the same thing. You're just going to pull that all the way up. So you got a little bit of a catcher net there. And just do the same thing where you're going to work it over the outside. And you'll probably want a shorter type of sock than this, but they are available, so you just pull that down and over, and again the compression will eventually just be like that. And again, you know, it would be working on the compression and keeping it just a little bit extra tidy. And again, it'll be one of those things where you will eventually have to ball it, but that's for another time. Now, if you do get it to a ball, or if you're working with a smaller skein, or like the 5 or less, or if you're working with, like, say, one of these type of balls where it's just the cotton, you could easily just get you a good old Ziploc type bag. I would probably recommend the sliders versus just the regular pinch ones, just because you can go ahead, you know, if you have a ball, there's a couple different ways to do that. You know, whichever type of ball you got, just pop it in there, and, you know, and just leave your tail hanging out. And then this will be the part that you'll work with, and then just close it up until you're just probably about an inch or so, just enough to actually let this freely pull out, but not, you know, for one, not get all bunched up so that it makes it really hard to pull out and possibly tear up your yarn. But you don't want it so open that, you know, if you happen to move around and it falls out, because that would kind of defeat the purpose. This would be more for, you know, like if you just wanted to make sure that it stayed clean, like maybe you're using a lighter color, like for a baby blanket, or even just, you know, using white, or, you know, something along those lines. Now, there. And as I mentioned in the previous video, you can get, this is just a, you know, normal size, gallon size bag, but you can get the larger ones, like the actual storage bags. They don't, I mean, like this is the dollar store brand, and plenty of different sizes for those, because as if you get like this actual full size, it doesn't really want to fit in there very well. Especially if it was brand new, it doesn't want to fit very well in that one. But if you were to have a bigger one, it could work. Or you can just ball it up straight from the get-go and not have to worry about that. And by then, with it being a smaller surface area, this isn't a full one, but if it's a smaller surface area, it would be able to fit in there fairly easily. And then that's pretty much it for that little tip. So, like I said, if you can find these, you know, it may take a little while to actually find them, but if not, there's plenty of other ways to do the same thing.